Welcome back to the Ref Show. This is part 2. Do not forget, by the way, to look at a cracking academy site from youaretheref.com, particularly if you aspire to a career in refereeing. We might have a chap across the studio here who, and it's never too late. There's a 57-year-old referee, who did one of the playoff games, Hirsty, so you never know. But anyway, have a look at that, because there's great learning for referees. And Mark Clattenburg joining the team as well, which was a major coup. Good friend of yours.
Good friend of mine. It's good to see someone of Mark's calibre come and join us.
Absolutely, can only add to the team, add expertise, and we look forward to Mark Clattenburg's contribution on that. 2 match bans for cheats next season, but before that, the playoff final in League One, which I watched over the weekend. Congratulations to Millwall, commiserations Bradford City. Only 1-0 in it, not much in it. Simon Hooper was refereeing. Did well, I thought. Did you?
Yeah, I thought. I watched the game and I thought Simon did well. I mean, it wasn't a difficult game, but you can only referee what's in front of you. And he managed the game. He allowed the game to flow, and he refereed with a smile on his face, which I like. But looking at that, I mean, I've got to ask myself, why is a Championship refereeing the League One and League Two playoff final? What about those referees that referee in that league, all season long? And we've got someone like Mark Brown, who finished well top of the League One and Two referees. Why has he not been given a chance to referee that game?
Yeah, it's making out that actual game is more important than the other, or the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And of course it is, because it's promotion side. But you've got to. I always say it. You've got to promote the people from within.
Yes.
And if they've performed well, give them the top job.
Absolutely.
What are they aiming for? Otherwise, where's the incentive?
I understand the situation of saying, well, we've brought a guy down who's done really well there, and he'll run it. Will he run it better?
No,
give the guy who's worked it all season, give him the praise that he deserves.
And where's the motivation for those referees to go out next season?
Yeah, I have a great season. I don't get the final.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you mentioned smiling. The cameras caught Simon Hooper smiling a lot during that game. It was really refreshing. Players seemed to respond to it, didn't they?
And it makes a massive difference. I think Hersey would tell you, you can laugh with the players, you can smile with the players, you can joke with the players. It relaxes everybody. But when you need to, when you have to stamp your authority on a game, you have to do it. And that's where the respect comes from.
It's when you start celebrating when they score that the problem.
Yeah, Mike Dean. Get in.
I weren't mentioning any names.
Well, it was also great, apart from saluting Millwall, Kevin Pressman, your old clubmate as well, and congratulating everybody. For decency, congratulations to Neil Harris and to Steve Morrison as well, for condemning the people, the couple of hundred who ran on at the end. There's no need for it, Millwall supporters.
No, listen, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about Neil Harris. I think he's been an absolute star, and I think he deserves all the accolades that come his way. There's a man that's battled back from testicular cancer, and fighting fit, and well done.
Yeah, the others don't deserve to be mentioned. It was really sad that they hijacked the story. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talking about hijacking the story, so we've been banging on about diving consistently on this show, and the FA now seem to have done something about it with obvious deceptions leading to a penalty or an opponent being sent off. A tribunal will sit, subject to a 2-match suspension. Now, first of all, your thoughts on that, bringing that in from the FA?
I mean, how it's policed is going to be the important part, and we're going to get a couple of situations where the offender's been hard done to. But yeah, if it can stamp it out, and like we mentioned it earlier about players that go down, players that don't, we'll find out. Yeah. We'll find out. I think it makes it a very difficult job for the referees again, because at that time, when he's seen the dive and he's let it roll in previous, now he's thinking, well, I've actually got to enhance my decision now to go to the committee, and these players get penalised. So I think it puts a little bit out there. Hope it works.
Effective deterrent for you, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, we've been beating a drum for a few years now, haven't we, about simulation, deceiving the referee, and bringing in a panel. For me, the panel's got to be the same 3. I'd like to sit on that panel. It's got to be the same. It's got to be
me as well.
Yeah, and you. It's got to be the same. It's got to be.
Are we looking for a job here?
We're looking for a job. I can't. We're doing a great job. We're in.
Right.
But no, it's got to be the same 3 that sits consistently week in, week out. And my thing about it is, listen, we're bringing in the VARs. I understand perhaps it's not coming in the Premier League till 2019 season with what Richard Scudamore has been saying recently. But for me, what about the players that go into the box and they're generally fouled and the referee thinks he's been deceived. He cautions the player. It could be his first yellow card. It could be his second yellow card. Okay, it's a clear foul, but he's been cautioned. Are they going to rescind that yellow card, or are they going to rescind that send-off? So I think there's a lot to look at. There's a lot that we've got to, before get in place. The protocol to get in place. Yeah,
whether they rescind it or not.
And also, not only that. So you're in a game. You have a player that goes down, simulates, deceives the referee, is cautioned. Okay. Then you have a player that goes into the box, wins a penalty, he's deceived the referee, simulated, nothing. Yeah. So that player on Monday comes up before the panel, he receives a 2-match ban. The player that's been cautioned,
mind you,
so what happens there?
The player who's been cautioned has attempted to deceive the referee and failed because he's been caught, but the player who actually cons the referee has succeeded in the dark art, and I think, for me, deserves then the extra punishment.
But we've got to make sure we get the protocol.
He gets the red card, and that's in the first half of the game. They're playing with 10 men, goes to the committee, and it's rescinded. Yeah. What happens there?
Yeah.
The gap between there. We've just lost the game with 10 men.
Do we look at...
It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, without a doubt. It will take some time.
Paul Clement made a good point where he said, well, he's still playing in that game, so it's the other teams that benefit in the next two games.
Exactly.
And I know Keith has done some excellent blogs and talking about sin bins. So do we, for things like that?
See, I prefer that method, and I've mentioned it before. I think the sin bin, where the player is taken off, whether it be 5, 10, 15 minutes.
In combination with video referee.
Exactly.
You could do it.
You could do it, yeah.
Anyway, so 2 members of the panel have been filled. David Hirst is the ex-player. Mark Halsey is the ex-referee. We just need an ex-manager now.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Just an ex-manager.
You've got player, referee, manager. I think you want 2 of each, to be fair, because then the difference of opinion.
We have an ex-manager here, don't we, sometimes? Gary Megson.
We do, yeah.
All right.
They're having one ex-referee, one manager, and one player.
Yeah. And Mark, quite rightly, I think, says it should be the same 3 week in, week out.
So you get consistency.
And you get
more money. If you have a centre forward on,
you're
if you have a
centre
forward on, how's he judging what the defender does?
Yeah, well.
Or do we have a defender on that judges what the centre forward does? Yeah. Who's conning who? There's different parts of the players look at it differently.
Video referees not in the Premier League till the season after next, as Mark said, 18-19 at the earliest, except in the FA Cup next season. But elsewhere, Australia, etc., they are operating it already. So
moving forward. It's as simple as that, really. So it's took a long while.
It was always going to come in. Once we brought in goal line
technology,
it was always going to come in. It was always going to come in.
Do you think the Premier League should be going for it immediately or hanging back as they seem to be doing?
I think they've got a reluctance to bring it into the Premier League, personally. Yeah, I do. I think they just like to leave the game as it is. But we've seen this season there's been so many big key match decisions that have been given wrongly.
But they need it. But there's also a difference of opinion over how it's going to be operated as well, whether the referee views a replay or whether the VAR makes it.
They've got it. They've still undecided whether they're going to have a screen at the side of the pitch for the referee to look at. I mean, it's the same again there. I think the VAR has got to work with the same referee week in, week out, so they know each other. Once again, consistency.
Surely it works in the same instance as cricket and rugby, where you've got the big screens in the grounds now anyway. He goes to the man upstairs, we're all watching it there anyway. I mean, sometimes, I see it at football games, we don't like to put that big decision on the screen. And I think it should be for the fans. But if we're going to use it...
Keith Hackett's an advocate of that, and that clears it for everybody.
We see it at rugby, where he looks at it, we see it, the crowd go, ooh, whatever, that's the decision.
See, for me, a matter of fact, the VAR just comes down and says to the referee, look, it's offside. Matter of fact, the referee doesn't need to get involved.
No.
Doesn't need to get involved.
Why have that spectacle? And it also is more time consuming as well.
Absolutely.
But what I'm saying is it opens up for the referee to go there, like it does in the rugby, in American football, they do it. He goes there and they make the decision and tell him what to do. But he has to be the one that, I didn't quite see that, so somebody else has got to help me out here.
Steer him. Just finally on the show, congratulations to Bibiana Steinhaus, who you may have read, you may have seen, will become the first female referee in the Bundesliga next season. Congratulations to her. That's something we could do with seeing in the Premier League, isn't it? One of the female officials moving through.
I think, congratulations to Bibiana. I think looking at her own Howard Webb, I think he's had a bit of influence on her career. You know, people talk about why has it not happened in the Premier League or the Football League. The simple fact is we haven't got anybody that's nowhere near good enough to make that step up. I think the closest we had was a young lady called Sarah Garrett, but I think she keeps failing the fitness test, so it's very difficult for them with the fitness test. But obviously she's good enough, and fair play to her.
Indeed, and good luck to her as well. And thanks to all our panellists during the course of the season. It's been a whirlwind, it's a blizzard, and we will be back for more Premier League action next season. But of course the Ref Show continues right the way through the summer. Thanks David, thanks Mark. See you next week. Bye.